What's good, y'all? Here to talk to y'all about some shit that, I don't know. I just want to get this shit off my chest real quick before I hit this gym. Now, I seen some shit today that said, it was a picture. It said, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Then it showed a black chick, heavier. And then it showed three of them like, why don't they like black men? Or why do they like white women? Or whatever the case. Why do they like other races men? I'm going to break this shit down one more time because I hate this subject. I hate this subject. But I got to break it down. You have to understand that black women have been, first of all, black women have unrealistic standards. Now, before any simp somehow finds this video and says, oh, that's you need to step your game up, blah, 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 right? I'm tall. I'm packing, right? I got money, plenty of it. I'm handsome. I don't have kids. Never been married. I'm sober. Smart. Wear a heart on my sleeve. Is there something I'm missing? If there is, I'm sure I got it because I've looked at everything that a man needs for a woman and I pretty much added it to my fucking arsenal, right? But the problem is this. They have been programmed to believe that the so-called alpha, let's just stick to the black race for a second, or the black man. You know what I mean? It ain't even the black race. It applies to all races, but it really applies to black men because we're just held to a different standard for whatever reason. But for example, you can wear, another race guy can wear a Walmart shirt and pull the top-notch chicks of his race. Way more. Because I know there's going to be a black dude in the section trying to make himself look better. You know, I can pull a top-notch chick in Walmart shoes. Okay, we get it. Yeah, you can. Who can't? You know what I mean? If you got a decent face like me and all this shit, yeah, you can. But the programming is the problem of why it's harder to happen. I'm not going to say that shit again. I hate when people, not all police jump in this motherfucker. We try and make points. We don't need not all police in this motherfucker. We get it. Everything ain't all. Just like every white dude can't pull a top-notch chick of his race if he wear Walmart shirts. But the majority of them can. All they need is some country boots and a fucking shirt and a fucking hat. A fucking army hat and can still pull top-notch chicks of his race. Stop. You ain't doing that shit as a black man, not at no alarming rate. You can have the muscles, you can have the looks. I done named everything. I got it all. And so do a lot of other men. So it ain't just, and I don't want people to take this as me. That's another thing. This video is to open the eyes of everybody. So don't try to put this shit on me and say, oh, it's just you and this and that. No, the right black chicks will like me because they're not dumb, right? So don't flip this shit on me. This is something that the public needs to hear because I keep hearing it from the public. Not from Tawan. The public is saying this. Because I really don't give a fuck if a woman like me or not. So don't flip that shit on me. Now back to what I was fucking saying. The black woman has been programmed to like superficial shit. I want Jay-Z, but I'm not Beyonce. Right? So since I have that mentality, really no black man that I know of walking around this motherfucker is going to fit the narrative. I'm not going to be satisfied because I think I deserve Jay-Z. And if I don't get Jay-Z, then I'm not satisfied. Even though I'm not Beyonce at all. Not even close. They think they deserve better than what they do. And it's not just them. Y'all got to really let me cook on this one. Because I don't want y'all to think it's just pointing the finger at black chicks. But I got to do this because the topic is the black chick saying no, no, no to the black guy. And then when they get older and overweight, now I want you. But he got the white girlfriend type shit. And we're going to talk about that too because they're really no different, right? You got to understand, hip hop is a program, and it's mainly aimed at black people. Yes, it affects all other races of people. It don't just affect black people. But the main target for the hip hop, they flipped it. It was something for us to use as something to basically help us out. It was a tool to help us out of our situation, you know, back in the 80s and shit like that. And what they did is they flipped it. We can use, they like this shit. They like this hip hop shit. So let's flip it and use it against them. And that's exactly what's going on. I'm a bad bitch. I take a nigga for his bag, bow down to me and lick my ass, and then all this dumb shit. You got that shit going on everywhere you look. That's all you see is women acting like fucking male players, man. And if you don't meet a certain standard, you're not good enough. And even if you do, because I'm one of them that is, you still not good enough. You know why? You know why a guy like me would get overlooked by a lot of women of my race? Not saying it really happens, but let's just hypothetically say it does. Because that's the topic. You know why that happens a lot? Either A, you're a busy guy, you're not even out. They don't even think you exist. You know what I mean? That's one reason. Another reason is because they think that they've been programmed to believe that the so-called alpha men of your race is I act hood, I act gangster. If I'm not saying nigga 1,000 times, then I'm some weak guy who don't have a good dick to fuck a bitch. You know, this is what they think. They really have been programmed to believe that these are the guys that I should pick. It's a programming. And they are the Israelites. So since they are the Israelites, they're under the curses. They're going to be destroyed. The devil, you're under the curses, dog. There's no way around it. So it's going to be hard as fuck for you to flourish under them curses. Plain and simple. Especially if you don't even know that you're under them. And you don't even know that people above, the elites, are fucking programming you to keep you dumbed down and in your curses. You know what I mean? So until you know this, then I guess you're just done. Right? But it's all about programming. Just like a man can be programmed to like big butts. And then you see a woman who don't really have a butt. Nah, I don't want that. It's the same thing. I've been programmed to like men who say nigga every fucking sentence and still kind of act like they was 15-year-old adolescent behavior. That's the type of men I like. Or I'm a woman who is scared to grow up and improve myself. So these are the guys I'm going to choose, because that other black solid guy who's in the business suit or whatever, who stands on business, should I say, and he demands respect and he demands, he's structured. He's not chaotic. Nah, I can't fuck with that. That's what it is a lot of times too, y'all. It's because these women that you men say are great women because they look good, what it really is they really not great women. They might look good, but they're not great women. And they know that, and they know that they can't fuck with a guy that stands on business and structured. They know that, so they're not gonna fuck with you. The problem is you're kind of you've been programmed to like the fine chick. Just like they've been programmed to like certain guys, you've been programmed to like the fine chick. So if a chick ain't fine, you don't consider her as a great woman. You only consider the women who look good as great women. And if they don't act right, you want to cry and complain about there's no good women, because you have been programmed to only like good looking women, even though looks are subjective. But the point is, you wouldn't look at a woman who you might not think is so fine, but she looked good or whatever. She looked good and she looked decent, but she's not fine or whatever. So you like, nah, I don't want that. I'm not going to wife that. Hence why the NBA players wife up good looking women who ain't wife material. Same thing. I keep veering off my point. The point is they've been programmed. They've been programmed, and until they realize that, they're going to stay in that. Some people believe that if you're not under this program, or you don't act like this program, then you're not black. But they don't even realize who black people really was before the programming. That's the problem. Or if you act proper or whatever fuck you want to call it, you don't act like the program, you're acting white. You're acting white, man. He's acting too white. He ain't acting black. Well, what is acting black? Because a lot of people don't know what that is. That's why they not in greatness. If you knew what black really was, you'd be in greatness. You be striving for greatness. You wouldn't be saying, oh, this is black. I'm going to say nigga 1,000 times. I'm not knocking the shit that people do in the hoods that we grow up in, but I'm just saying it's time to break away from the shit. Understand that you have been programmed to be your low vibration of yourself instead of a high vibration of yourself. Once you do, you're like, you know what? Yeah, I say nigga sometimes and shit like that. And yeah, I still got hood in me and shit. But this higher self of me, I like tapping into that way more. See, a lot of these women are not tapping into their greatness, so therefore they're not going to deal with greatness in a man. They're going to run from it. They're scared of it. They're not used to it. They don't know how to handle it. You know what I mean? Until later on, when they're not getting picked by men because they had a bunch of kids and gained weight and shit. Now they want the great guy. It's too late. You bit the apple. You should have been looking for this great guy when you was younger. The smart ones do, the other ones don't. Plain and simple. Same thing with the guys. I'm gonna fuck around with the hoes, man. The good woman gonna be there later. The good woman gonna be destroyed later. More than likely, the good women that you see when you like 21 or something, all these good women, they not gonna be that no more because they gonna fall by the sword. So you want to play around and be a player until you're 30, and then when you look in the sea of fishing at 30, it's not the same anymore. You should have chose your queen at 21. So men do this shit too. It ain't just females. But they've been programmed to like superficial shit. So if you ain't got on Louis Vuitton and gold and you're not got a nice body and all these things, then they not gonna look your way. And unfortunately, they have a vagina, so they will always have the choice to choose that guy that got that shit that they looking for. That don't mean he's the right guy for them, though. You cannot, as a black dude, I give you 1% chance. You can't just wear no Walmart shit and a camouflage hat like a white dude and still pull a fine ass white chick. It's not happening. You got a 1% chance of that shit happening because they have been programmed to like certain shit. And it's not going to stop, especially if they've been doing it since they was 15. Think about it. You've been liking this type shit like I've been liking Cadillac since 15. I owned my first Cadillac at 15. It's going to be hard as fuck for me to break from a Cadillac to something else. It ain't going to happen unless it's like a Rolls Royce or some shit. Some of them they not turned on by what's good, man. Plain and simple, because a lot of them are not good women. They really aren't. They could be, but they're not. That's why they are attracted to toxic shit. I don't like the guy that just wants to fuck me and no other girl. I need chaos. I need to argue with bitches and shit. This is what they want. Because they're not right. It's all about the woman. At the end of the day, it's all about the woman. But the good news is the right woman will pick you right guys for the right reason. So you don't have to dumb yourself down and be the lower vibration of yourself. Let me get some blunts and some drinks and say nigga every time I talk just for a black woman to like me. You don't got to do that. Because if you want a black chick, right? The right black chick will like you because you're not doing that shit. I'm going to say that again for all of y'all who cry over the bad women that you shouldn't even be worried about. The right chick will like you for doing the right shit as a man. If you don't understand the concept, just imagine a woman not showing her body, right? But in this other woman showing her body, this other woman getting all kind of attention, right? Or let's just stick with the same chick. Let's just say she showed her body. Let's just say she's testing men. She's like, I'm going to show a picture of me showing my body, and then I'm going to show a picture of me not showing my body and see who likes what. Same concept. More than likely, the right guys, it ain't always a guarantee, but more than likely, the right guys are still going to try to like her or swipe left or whatever, right or whatever, for the woman who's dressed more classy versus when she's dressed like she ain't got nothing on, everybody gonna like her. So it's the same thing. Oh, he ain't cashing out, so I don't want him. Let me go get my simp. Then let her go get the simp. In order to catch the right fish, you got to fish the right way. Y'all be letting people break y'all and move y'all certain ways. If you don't want to take a woman on a $500 date and you want to take her on a coffee date, the right woman will be okay with that. The wrong ones won't. It's that simple. Just like if a woman don't want to give up sex yet, the right man is going to be okay. He might not agree, like, damn, I don't really want to wait, because he might think you fucking somebody or some other shit, but more than likely, he might be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll wait. I kind of like this chick. Same thing with a girl. I don't know if he's trying to play me or think that I'm only worth a coffee date, but you know what? I think I might like this guy or want to get to know this guy. Let me see what's going on. Versus the ones, oh, nah, you ain't good enough for me to just go on a coffee date with you, so I'm going to date this other guy because he'll take me on a $500 date. Let him go. Or she will let me fuck and this one won't, so I'm going to go to her. Let him go. Let him go. And a lot of y'all think the other races of women ain't superficial, or, you know, you got a better chance of being picked by them and all this other shit. They do the same shit, man. It ain't just black women. All women do this shit. Not all women in general, but all races of women do this shit. A lot of times, the only reason why the white chick is even dealing with you is because the top-notch white guys or whatever other race of guys didn't want her. She wasn't the first choice, so she's like, let me try a black guy. Same thing black dudes do. Well, I can't get a black chick. Let me try one of another race. Maybe this will work for me. And nothing's wrong with that. But what is wrong is assuming that the other races of women ain't superficial too, because they are. They are. It's just that this is what I see it from my examination. I would say the other races of women, not all, but for the most part, they have a lower standard of superficialness than the so-called black chick. The black chick's superficial, especially if she look good and she can get men at a drop of a dime. Her standards of superficialness is out of this atmosphere. It's not even, it's so unrealistic, it's just ridiculous. Now, if she's Beyonce, then she deserves fucking Jay-Z. But 99.9% of the time, that's not the case. She just thinks she's Beyonce because she has a vagina and a bunch of simps who bow down like bitches. And let the woman have his position that God gave you. You think the Most High happy with you over that? You supposed to be the leader. You're not supposed to let no pussy make you relinquish your fucking manhood, basically. That's like you in prison. Either die, you gonna give up your manhood or die. Well, guess what, nigga? When you give these women your manhood and bow down like a bitch because she doesn't want to respect you or see you as a man, you basically dead. You gonna pay child support, she not gonna fuck you, she gonna be fucking other people behind your back, all kind of shit. You're dead. It's the same. We can blame women all we want, but it's really the men. Why are you even dealing with those type of women? If a woman want to be superficial and act like you got to be Jay-Z to fuck with her, then let her find that. And if she's Beyonce, she will be able to find that. But 99.9% of the time, she's not Beyonce, so she's not going to get that. And then she will come to reality and understand that, damn, just like in that picture, damn, he found a white chick that actually likes him. Why didn't I see the greatness in him? I guess I had to become overweight and not be choosed by a bunch of men and blowing my head up for me to realize that, you know what, that guy was on my level. That guy had all that shit going on, looks and all that shit. He had no kids, none of that. Damn, he was on my level. I just thought I was better than what I was, and that's exactly what it is. So let them stay in la-la land. Let them stay delusional. You don't become delusional though. How do you become delusional? Thinking you're going to change them? Thinking you're going to make them stop being superficial? No, it's already ingrained. Every time they listen to Cardi B or whatever, it's already ingrained in their minds. Only the Most High and that woman can save that woman. Then you can come along and add to that woman's life. But until then, let them stay lost. They're not trying to hear anything you got to say. They don't want to play the position that they was created to play. And it's not just them, it's just most women in general. They just don't. They want to be the man. They want all the power. Because they feel like they've already tried to give a man all the power. You know what I mean? Give him a kid and all that shit. And it failed. So now every other man that comes across in her life has to be her bitch now. She no longer trusts men to have the authority. I want the authority. And that's her fault. She the one that picked the wrong guy to begin with. She wouldn't have been in this state if she would have picked the right guy to begin with. So, you know what I mean? Let her stay like that. Again, that don't mean you bow down and comply with that shit though. Once they get older and start to gain weight and shit, they come to reality. They realize that, and it ain't even that they don't look good and shit. They still be looking good, some of them and shit like that. And I'm not saying that having kids or something diminishes a woman, but what happens is the younger women are the more preferable choice now. She used to be that until she got kids and got weight. Now the younger women. And guess who's able to still pull the younger women? And more than likely who will be able to get the younger women? The successful older men. Because we all know, even though they cry, complain, and say, a pedophile, you're too old for her. We all know that was that same woman who didn't want to fuck with us because we didn't have the car. We was the same age, she didn't want to fuck with us, which is why this video exists. Because we are the same age. Right? But I wasn't good enough because he looked like Jay-Z because he was older. He had more shit going on. So you, the same woman who cries and complains about older men dating younger women, was the same woman who did the same shit. The only difference is you don't have a problem with the older man dating the younger woman. You have a problem with it because you know that the older men that actually can pull younger women are the ones that you thought was waiting on you at the finish line because feminism lied. So now you got two choices. Get the older men that you shitted on, that have the ability, because they cut up with themselves, they still can pull nice young women. You could choose that, but you know you can't choose that because he know you shitted on you. He know you shitted on him, and now you offer him a even weaker version. That's like me trying to sell this Cadillac to somebody now at a certain price, and I'm like, nah. And then later, after it's ran down more, and then try to sell it back to that same person for the same price. It's not going to happen. So you got two choices. Either you could try to convince that same guy that you shitted on to pick you at a weaker worth, right? Because most women who preserve themselves, let's be honest, a big part about preserving themselves is picking the right man. So more than likely, women who preserve themselves probably picked the right guy already. They're probably good already, right? So it's usually the ones who didn't that's still looking for a guy, right? I think we all can agree on that, right? All right, then. So you got a choice to pick him, or you could pick them other guys who let themselves get destroyed by life. Sometimes it be the same guys that you picked over that solid guy. The solid guy, Jay-Z now, and the guy that you thought was Jay-Z is actually Damon Dash. No disrespect to Damon Dash. I still fuck with Damon Dash because he's still dropping gems and everything. But you get my point. You thought Damon Dash was Jay-Z when you was younger. And you thought the Jay-Z now was Damon Dash. But it flipped. So that same guy, he ain't good enough. He ain't say nigga 1,000 times, blah, blah, blah. He don't look good enough. That same guy is now Jay-Z. And now you mad because that same guy, so-called Jay-Z, can pull a younger, better looking chick than you. And now, oh, he's a pedophile now. But wasn't you the same younger girl that was dealing with that guy? When you didn't want the guy on your level? See, it all goes down to these females not wanting a guy on their level. Let me rephrase that. It all goes down to females believing that certain guys aren't on their level because of simps, their looks, and their vagina. But as time goes on, the looks start to fade. You know, the choosing signals start to fade, which ultimately, by default, makes them realize, damn, he was on my level. I'm not the shit that I thought I was. Oh, another race of woman thinks he's better. He's a sellout. Yet and still, I didn't want him the whole time. 99 point. Here's some game for y'all motherfuckers. Nothing's wrong if you date another race of woman. I'm not saying that. It is what it is. I have no problem with it. If a black woman, she tried to like black dudes and they shit on her, she dated a white guy, I'm all for it. That's their fault, right? But here's some game for y'all to kill all that lying bullshit that they kicked to y'all. 99.9% of the time, a black dude is going to have a black girlfriend first. Or he's at least going to try, because unless he grew up around all white chicks in an all white neighborhood. But more than likely, we know that that's not the case. So what happens? These women are, I'm not even going to blame it all on the women, because if the dad's in the life, I truly wholeheartedly believe if these women had dads in their life, I really believe they would probably pick the right dude. I ain't even going to say black dude, because it really ain't about race. But they more than likely around a lot of black dudes when they're younger, right? Let's be real about it. 99% of the time, they would have probably picked the right black dude. And we wouldn't even be having this discussion. Because you could be a white chick and have daddy issues or not have a daddy and still pick the bad boys too. Because you don't have a representation of what a man really is, so you don't even understand. Your version of what a man is either somebody you've seen in hip hop, which is some illusional bullshit, or your big brother or some shit, big cousin or some shit. Not that dad that's going to show you and move and not just tell you, but show you what a man is. Like, you're going to know, all right, I know what my dad is. And I'm not saying every female who has a dad in her life is going to pick the right guy, because it still happens. But it lowers the chances, man, because she knows what a guy is. She knows. Because the dad treats her like she should be treated. So she going to know when she's dealing with a guy, wait a minute, this don't add up. My dad treats me this way, how a woman's supposed to be treated. This guy ain't doing this. Nah, I think I'll pass. And she already feel love from the dad. So she ain't got to be thirsty for the love of a guy who's not reciprocating the love back. And that's what happens a lot of times. These women, these young girls are not getting love because the dad's missing. So they desire this love from a man, and they stick with a guy who's shitting on them, doing them wrong, fucking all kind of other women, etc., 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 man. But ultimately, it's all races of women. The more their head is blown the fuck up, the more they think they deserve Brad Pitt or Jay-Z. I need to start throwing other races in this shit right now too, because I don't want y'all to think it's just black women. It ain't just black women. It ain't just black women. But I would say that they're the most. I feel like other races of women prioritize more shit that's more important than men than black women, because black women have been programmed to like the bullshit. But all races of women do it. I just think that black women do it on a whole nother level. That don't mean other races of women don't do it on a whole nother level, but not as much. Not if you go by groups. The black chick is in fucking delusion. She thinks that a guy that she wants don't even exist. He don't exist. So therefore, you motherfuckers ain't never going to satisfy her. She's never going to be satisfied because he doesn't exist. And a lot of times you could say that with other races of women too. The man that they want does not exist. That's why you can have everything going on and it's not enough. Because what they already got in their minds, this guy does not exist. It's a fairy tale. Nobody's perfect, but the guy in their mind is. Say that shit again. Nobody is perfect, but the guy that they got in their mind is perfect. Therefore, they'll never get him. But once you get older and realize that you're not perfect yourself, phone's starting to get hot. I ain't done yet, though. I was going to let that shit ride, but I refuse. Once you get, the more you realize that you're not perfect, the more you find perfection in other people. You could take it as humbleness or whatever. But that's what happens when they get older and they gain weight and have kids and shit. They don't get the same choosing signals. They might get men to still fuck them because they got the vagina, but they not getting the bow down to me, I'm a bad bitch, simp treatment. Right? So it becomes a humbling thing to them. And the more that's why they're willing to accept you now. After they done fell off. That's why they're willing to accept y'all now. But a lot of times it'd be too late because of the program. The so-called white chick or whatever, her mom, I'm not saying that her mom don't tell her to be superficial, but I feel like they're taught to like shit, should I say better shit that matters in men. Instead of, oh, he got a gold chain and this and that. Just dumb shit. But it's not all the black woman teaching the black daughter this shit. A lot of it is the hip hop programming. And every white chick don't fall under that hip hop programming. All of them don't become a victim to it. Of course, they all probably become victim to feminism to a certain extent. But not on the level that the so-called black chick is. That's why, he ain't got the gold chain, he ain't got the Rolls Royce, he ain't got this or that. They really feel that they're entitled to these type of guys, and there's nothing you could tell them that they not. Because they got that vagina. And they see other women. Here's a bombshell right here. If you really want to know the truth, and I kind of don't blame them, but I feel like if you not Beyonce, stop looking for Jay-Z. But anyways, they see other women, not other races of women. They see other women who are not Beyonce pulling Jay-Z's. Hence, NBA basketball players, all kind of money, all kind of shit going on for himself. Total package type dude, right? Still dealing with this shit. And then he get took for all his money and shit. So other women say, I look just as good as her. So I deserve an NBA basketball player, not you, truck driver. Not you, asphalt laying guy. Not you, real estate guy. Yeah, you're a boss and all that, but you're not them. And if that girl could pull one of them and get that bag, I want the bag too, because I look good too. And that's what's going on. It's not going to change. That's why the Most High said the woman's beauty is vain. Plain and simple. It ain't going to change. The only way it'll change is if men demand women to be on a level that they're on. Or at least close, right? Because as men, we want to be the top echelon, because we the man, we supposed to be. We supposed to go hard and be the leader, the head, and be the overall, what you want to call, breadwinner or whatever. Not just with money, mentally, all that, right? Strength, mentally, all that shit, right? But as long as you have NBA players just willing to fuck women who are way beneath their level, just for some sex or something, these women are always going to think that they can do better than you. It don't mean that they're better than you. You could be on a way higher level than her. Don't matter. I want the guy who's on a way higher level than you. Say that again. Yes, you're on a higher level than me, asphalt laying guy, truck driver, real estate guy. But I want the guy who's on a way higher level than you, and I see women who are on my level fucking these guys and getting these guys for divorce bags. So I'm going to do the same thing. That's why as a man, you got to realize that this shit is set up all against you. However, if you want to win, then you got to be realistic with yourself. And only deal with women who actually see you as the so-called NBA player. See, every woman ain't looking for the NBA player. To some women, you are the NBA player. Truck driver, asphalt laying guy, real estate guy. To some women, you are the NBA player. To some women, you are a god. And you should only deal with women who see you as a god. If not, you're settling. You know how they want to talk about settling this, settling that? You're settling. If you deal with, I don't give a fuck if she look like Freddy Krueger. You're probably better off with that than a beautiful chick that thinks she's your god. Or you could just deal with nobody. But the point is, do not settle. Yeah, she look better, but you're going to get way more out of that girl who look like Freddy Krueger. I'm just being honest. You'll get more out of her that thinks you're a god versus the one who thinks she's your god. I'm not saying get with a woman you're not attracted to. I'm just giving you an example of what happens when, yeah, you get a good looking woman, but she thinks she's your god. You're settling. Plain and simple, you're settling. Well, I settle. They don't. Or at least in the end they have to, but at first they don't. Because they look so good and this and that. They ain't settling. They require you to have all this shit. So you need to start requiring them to have shit. Unless you come across a woman who appreciates everything. Then it's like, you know what? The more a woman appreciates you, the more we don't give a fuck about what she brings to the table. For real, for real. Especially if you like the woman and shit. Men don't really be looking at all that other shit because we want to be the one that the anchor and the one that provides and all this shit. It's just what's happening is you got a lot of women who are not appreciating nothing. So now men are fighting back like, oh, fuck it then. I'm going to start asking you for shit. The women had the shit in the palm of their hands, but feminism tricked them into fumbling the shit. They had the shit in the palm of their fucking hands. But feminism convinced and tricked them into fumbling. Where's all the good men to open the doors? You don't want that. Where's the roses? You don't want that. You had it. You didn't want it. I'm not talking to younger women because unfortunately it's not your fault. But the women before you, the generation before you, they had men wanting to do this shit and they took advantage of it or they didn't appreciate it. So now you got a bunch of younger dudes who ain't on none of that shit. Oh, the bad guy gets treated the best? Oh, I'm going to be a bad guy too. That's how you get women to like you and shit. Watch this. I'm going to be the bad guy. And that's exactly what's going on. And then you got women who had the good guy. Or should I say, you got women who choose the wrong guy. And now they like, I'm going to just be the bad girl. Men ain't shit. They all the same. So I'm just going to be the bad girl and beat them to the punch. And use my vagina as a weapon and a tool and shit. And this is what's going on. If you break it all down, the reason why it's not that the so-called white chick is any different, right? It's just that she doesn't look for the same shit in a man. She doesn't, her superficial requirements is not the same as a so-called black chick. That's why she's able to appreciate a so-called black dude that black chicks could not appreciate. And then when they see him with the white chick, they think that he didn't like black chicks, but really it was the black chicks not liking him or their standards was way too high. See, the white chick is more smart about this shit. Her standards are still high, but she's willing to compromise more. There you go. She's willing to compromise more. I ain't saying her attitude's better. I ain't saying she's better. I ain't saying that she don't be plotting like the rest of the so-called black chicks, but she's willing to compromise more to get what her agenda, if you want to call it that. She's willing to compromise more. It is what it is, man. Women need to come back to reality. I ain't saying a woman should settle. I feel like the greater a woman is, the more she should be able to say, I want a better man. But you got them out here, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't offering nothing. And they want Jay-Z, and that shit crazy. That's delusional. Like, that's insane. But as a man, you got to understand what it is, man. You got to understand why. Especially if you want a good-looking chick. Understand why the good-looking chicks are the way they are. But don't confuse good-looking chick with good chick. Do not confuse good-looking chick with good chick. That woman who doesn't look as good, her sex might be way better. And she might treat you way better. All a good-looking woman had to do was be born. She was born with her looks. So stop giving her points and pedestalizing her because of her looks. She didn't have to earn that. You should only pedestalize women. Well, you shouldn't at all, but hypothetically speaking, to a certain extent, you should only pedestalize women. When I say that, I mean like she's a great woman. You should only do that when it comes to shit that she proves or earns. Not something that she didn't have to earn. Yes, everybody likes looks in a woman, but that's not something she earned. She didn't have to earn that. Think about it. As men, when women judge us, what do they judge us off of? Shit that we had to earn. You had to earn that body. You had to earn that money. You had to earn your intelligence. You had to earn that car. Funny how everything that we get judged based off of is something we earn, but when it comes to them, y'all don't apply that shit, vice versa. Then you wonder why you're getting women who ain't willing to put nothing into you, because the shit that they are giving to you or putting into you is shit that they didn't have to earn. So therefore, it's easy to withdraw from you. I didn't have to earn these looks. I could just go to the next man. She didn't have to earn that shit. But she has to earn cooking for you and doing your clothes and shit like that. Now that makes it harder for the woman to walk away because she's putting shit into you that she actually had to put effort into. It's not that easy to just go to the next man with all that cooking and cleaning and shit. But the looks part, the vagina part, that's easy. I can just go to the next guy, right? They judge you off of your height. I'm not short, thank God. But they judge you off of that. They judge you off your looks. So sometimes they judge you off of shit that we didn't earn. But still, for the most part, they judge us off of shit that we got to earn. So you as a man got to start looking at shit that women have to earn, like to put in their criteria as a woman, and start judging her off of that when you say who's a great woman and who's not. Not looks or vagina. Every woman got that shit for free. Some women don't have looks, granted. Some women don't have good vagina, granted. But it's all subjective. What I think looks good, you might not think look good. What I think is good pussy, you might not think is good pussy. So it's still something they did not have to earn. But that's the main two things that y'all pedestalizing these chicks on. And you wonder why a woman feels like you're disposable, or she doesn't have to put shit into you, or she can just go to the next man so easy. That's why. You, on the other hand, you had to work for all that, man. I had to work for this and that just to get that chick. Had to work for this car. Had to work for the muscles and all that just to impress this chick. That's why it's harder for you to, like, leave the chick alone or believe that you're going to get another one right away. She believes she's going to get another you easy. Unless she really attached to you and really think you're the one. If she think you're number one, that's another thing before I go. If a woman thinks you're the best ever, it's a whole different ball game. But when you're dealing with women who really don't think you're the one, but I'll deal with you because the one I think is the one don't want me, this is where all the fuckery comes in. So how do you stop all the fuckery, men, before I get off this motherfucker? You choose a man who thinks you are Jay-Z, thinks you are LeBron James, and you do not settle for any other woman who don't think this. Do not think with that down there. Think with this. Make sure that she thinks you are fucking Jay-Z or LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or whatever, and you're good, it'll be a beautiful thing. But if not, it's going to be hell. Child support, all kind of shit. All kind of shit. All because you didn't make sure that you didn't let the woman prove to you that you really that dude. Some of y'all egos get in the way. I'm that dude, so she think I'm the dude. You might be that dude, but that don't mean that she don't think another guy's that dude more than you. Remember, there's other men. You're not the only guy. So a woman could really like you, but still really want that other one, or the one that she had a kid by, whatever. So you gotta be very careful. Remember, you might think your product's the shit. You, aka you're the product, or whatever. Let's just use product as an example. You might think your shit's a product, but that don't mean the customers you trying to sell it to think that way. They might think somebody else's product's better. So you gotta be very careful. Yes, you are supposed to think you're the best product out this motherfucker. And I hope you're putting in the work to make you really believe that you're the best product out this motherfucker. But you got to understand, when you're selling this product to certain people are just going to see certain shit a certain way. So it goes back to the picture. Say you're a black guy, you want a black chick. And say that really no black dude really in your neighborhood compared to you. Right? And then this white chick come along and just sees you as better. Let's just say better, because make no mistake about it. No woman, I ain't gonna say no woman don't see you perfect, but just because she a different race don't mean shit. She might just see you better than the black chick see you. Right? Or she might be willing to compromise her standards. Or her standards aren't necessarily as high. Might be the same shit, but not as high. Like, you ain't gotta be the finest, the tallest, and all this other shit. You know what I mean? This other shit. So can't forget what I was saying, but I think I said enough in this shit, man. Unrealistic standards is what it is, man. And we all know that most women don't want you until you got another girl anyway. So a lot of times it ain't even about race. It's just about that black guy that none of us wanted. Oh, he got a girlfriend now. So now I'm mad type shit. Or I just want to act like, I want him to like me now to try to fuck that shit up. Cause I ain't got nobody. The ones I wanted didn't want me, and I don't like the fact that he's happy. So let me try to fuck that up. He used to like me. I don't want her to be happy, type shit. Or because she sees happiness in this guy I didn't see, it doesn't matter. I still want to fuck that shit up, type shit. Motherfuckers don't even be wanting you, man. They just don't want other people to have you. It's crazy. Y'all better wake the fuck up, nigga. I'm not touching on this black-white shit for a long time ever again. Because it's really all the same shit. The black chick, the white chick's the same fucking shit, man. It's the same shit. It's just that you're dealing with certain people who some people's heads are bigger than others. And then some people was raised differently than others. Some people have been taught that they deserve Jay-Z. Then you got some people who get the best good man for you so you could have somebody providing type shit. Versus, does he make sure he got a gold chain and all this and all that. And while I'm on that, a lot of times, I feel like the other races of women understand this. This is it, and I'm done. The other races understand that white dude in that Walmart shirt with the camouflage hat that's worth $1 million is actually worth more than the guy with the gold chain and all that shit sometimes. And they understand that. They understand that it ain't about fucking how he dress. So they don't disqualify a guy because he got a Walmart shirt. But I bet you if you put a line of superficial hip hop type black chicks in a line and let me dress in a fucking my work clothes or some shit, they wouldn't think I was a $500,000 guy. I guarantee it. But then let the other guy who, let's just say he ain't got that much money, you know what I mean, but he got on a gold chain, they gonna think he got more. Programming at its finest. Do y'all get that now? Now apply that shit to everything. On different levels, different subjects. Not just the gold chain in the Walmart shirt. Apply that shit to all type of shit. He's not the bad boy. He must not got a big dick. He don't know how to fuck. This is what they believe. And we're a victim to a certain extent. Man, she's too nerdy. Ain't no way she can give sloppy toppy. How do you know, though? How do you know? It is what it is, man. Y'all have a great day, man. And do not take, and if you get anything out of this, I want y'all to understand it's really not about race. It's about programming. It's the mind of the woman and her programming. Because you got white chicks who are programmed just like the black chicks and doing the same fucking shit. It's just not as often as the other. Because they're coming from different parts. They're coming from different worlds. And the programming has been mainly aimed at the so-called black chick and the black people more than the other races of people. However, the other races of people sometimes fall victim. But the main target was the Israelites. And that's why you see this shit going on. Deuteronomy 28, 16-65. Deuteronomy 28, 16-65.